His bike group got these flowers, and those have been there from almost the beginning.
Laura Keenan shows me around the roadside memorial she and others created for her husband, Matt. Last September, he was struck and killed by a wrong-way driver while biking in Mission Valley. Keenan is now the single mother of their 1-year-old son, Evan.
I miss waking up in the morning and seeing him cutting fruit for Evan and eating and smiling and making happy food noises, and I miss him being able to find humor in the most mundane or awful situations, and I miss how he makes me feel.
The death toll on city streets last year was 67, the deadliest year since San Diego adopted its Vision Zero goal of ending all traffic deaths. Some experts attribute the trend to more reckless driving during the pandemic. The driver who killed Matt said she thought she was on a one-way street and that she never saw Matt coming. Keenan doesn't buy it.
She drove into the bike lane, so even if she thought it was a one-way road, she left the legal driving limits of the road. And something had to make her extremely distracted. And really what that is shouldn't be the issue. She was so distracted that she did not see my husband, his extremely bright lights. She never hit the brakes. You hit the brakes for a box in the road, and she did not hit the brakes for my husband.
Keenan was devastated, infuriated, when the district attorney's office told her last month they didn't see enough evidence to charge the driver with a felony. Instead, they referred the case to the city attorney's office as a misdemeanor.
He lost his life, and I hoped that I would at least find some peace in our justice system.
Instead, Keenan found a whole new level of pain and suffering.
So vehicular manslaughter looks at the negligence of the driver who's at fault.
Mark Skeels is a civil attorney who previously prosecuted vehicular manslaughter cases in both the DA and city attorney's offices. He says felony charges have to involve gross negligence. The term is imprecise, but in practice it usually means if the driver was intoxicated or showed recklessness far beyond the norm.
In cases where it's simple negligence, maybe just you pull up to a stop sign and you look to your left, but you don't look back to your right before going, and you didn't realize a pedestrian had walked out in front of your car. Stuff like that is going to be more characterized as simple negligence, and in those cases, the charge will be filed as a misdemeanor.
San Diego County has seen nearly 300 prosecutions of vehicular manslaughter in the last 7 years, and roughly 2/3 were felonies. That number does not include traffic deaths where no criminal charges are filed at all. Skeels says prosecutors may also be reluctant to file felony charges because of jury bias. Most jurors in San Diego drive every day and are likely to put themselves in the defendant's shoes.
They generally think that they are themselves safe drivers, and so when they've been in incidents which were near misses or other collisions, I think they think it wasn't their fault, and so that permeates their mindset when they're sitting as jurors.
Too often, people use the word accountability as a proxy for punishment.
Amanda Berman works for the Center for Court Innovation in New York City. She's heard from countless families like Keenan's who say the legal system has failed them. So the center is developing a program that will bring drivers face to face with the loved ones of the victims they killed.
And hear from them firsthand who that person was and what the impact is of your actions, how it has destroyed lives, and having to confront that and reckon with that, is much more powerful and much more likely to change behavior.
Keenan says she's not all that concerned about how much time the driver spends behind bars, nor does she want an apology.
I think the only thing that would give me any peace from the driver is that she does something throughout her life to prevent this from happening again.
An outcome she's unlikely to get from the justice system. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.